or smoke marijuana. They don't want to be considered criminals for smoking marijuana. Ron Paul and Barney Frank just introduced H.R. 8543 in the House of Representatives to decriminalize marijuana for personal use, and that's basically what
well, the thing is, marijuana is a perfect law for the law enforcement people and for the prison population. By the way, the Bureau of Prisons, they love incarcerating marijuana growers and smokers because first of all, we're intelligent people, and the first thing the pot criminal does when he's in jail, he makes his surroundings beautiful. And so when I was incarcerated, it was the pot growers that had the gardens looking great, the lawns great. I mean, and we're easy to arrest. I was very easy to arrest. They weren't afraid of me. I wasn't some crazed meth freak with a gun.
They came with 24 fully armed SWAT team commandos to his house that I happen to know. Tommy doesn't even lock his door.
No.
So they came. I mean, that the level of overkill was just.
But it was embarrassing for them too, because I felt bad for the police that arrested me, because they knew they were totally in the wrong, because first of all, they didn't have to do that. They could picked up the phone, called me, and I would have went down. Said whatever. Even that's what I did when I went to jail. I pled guilty. Yeah, I'll go to jail. Whatever. Because I know that I wasn't doing anything wrong. I'm not a criminal. And people that grow pot and people that sell pot, they're not criminals either. What we're doing. In fact, what pot is really doing, and you got to remember this. The American economy is in the shitter right now. I mean, it's right down. But for some reason, America is still vibrant. There's still things being bought and sold and manufactured. And then you look at other statistics that say that marijuana is the #1 cash crop in the world. In America, in the world. That means people that are growing pot are actually growing money that's not taxed in any way, other than criminals, but it's not being taxed. And people that that deal in the pot economy, they can't put that cash into savings and bonds and that. They have to spend it. And so what happens, you've got this vibrant economy going thanks to the pot, and also thanks to the fact that it's illegal, because it's illegal now, it costs more than cigarettes, basically. I mean, the marijuana is, the price is, what, $85 an eighth or something?
All I know is that you could, to fill your car with a tank of gas, you could buy an eighth of weed.
Yeah.
And that's criminal.
Yeah. So anyway, the government knows this. And the government, I learned this in prison, the government is knee-deep in the drug business. Both on the incarceration side, they incarcerate all these people who are drug offenses for no good reasons, and plus the government, and this is what I was told in prison by people that really knew, the DEA has a free fly zone everywhere in the world. They don't have to answer to any customs. They don't have to go through anybody. No one checks on the DEA. And they have daily flights out of Colombia into America. And no one checks the cargo, for one. No one checks the cops, in other words. There's nobody checking on the DEA. I've had friends, I've had pot dealers that got arrested, and they went into their safe houses and they took $500,000 in one instance. And then they took the pothead and they just kicked him out. They said, get out of here. That never hit the papers, that never hit any records. DEA, in this one instance, just one, walked away with $500,000 in cash and probably more in weed, which they sell. So it wasn't the United States government per se that put me in jail. It was the drug dealers that worked for the government that had me arrested. and it was a showcase. It's a showcase to show, yeah, we're really spending all this billions of dollars to fight drugs. There you go. We put Tommy Chong, the pothead, you know, with a bomb. We got him in jail. We took him off the streets. In the meantime, while everybody's looking at the bomb maker in jail, the real drug dealers, which is the arm of the United States, the DEA, the drug enforcement agencies, they're the real drug dealers. And Ollie North, during that Ollie North period, they proved that. There's proof out there. And there's proof right now, but what are you going to do? You know, and you gotta think that if the DEA is involved in all this multi-billion-dollar organization, that a lot of that money is going into the other areas of the government, such as the vice president area, the president himself. You know, there's so much corruption.
Well, and there's a lot of agencies that have their hand in the till, and that makes it difficult to effectively reform marijuana laws. It's going to be tough because there was a recent raid on the backer of the documentary, which you can also get at the table with the book. His warehouse was raided in Kentucky by the same prosecutor that went after Tommy Chong. The target was an $80 million drug testing industry. It's a cottage industry that rose up to counterbalance the $5.9 billion GlaxoSmithKline-led drug testing agency that creates these drug tests, and the small cottage industry rose up to basically fill a niche, fill an opening in the economy.
Well, to help people keep their jobs.
Right.
I mean, so if you got a job, say at Home Depot, and you get drug tested,
insurance companies lobby to make sure Home Depot tests their employees.
Yes.
For marijuana, and when I was talking to Tommy's federal defense attorney in Pittsburgh for the bond case, paraphernalia, he's now defending the manufacturer of the Whizzinator, which was the same prosecutor.
Tell me what a Whizzinator is.
It's a 3.5-inch prosthetic penis that comes in 5 natural skin tones. It urinates synthetic urine that's used by people that are being drug tested.
And there's a disclaimer on it. The penis is not to be used by women.
Yeah.
Because they might get suspicious.
But when